Hey, Jerome.
Alrighty, there we go. And I need to kill the music. Doink. There we go. And we are live. Yay! We are back for this, the last game of September for our fundraiser, as well as the gigantic, problematic ending to last game, which was loads of fun. So yay. And of course, note that tonight is the last night that we're doing the fundraiser, because we're doing it for all of the month of September. However, the fundraiser itself goes until the 30th, so if you still want to get a hold of the link and donate, you have up till then to do so. Otherwise, you can just donate directly to Control-Alt-Delete as well, which is totally fine. And I'm sorry, so as I was bringing everybody on, Brittany, you had a question?
I was just letting you know I bumped up a couple of skills in case you want to note them before I send you a copy.
I
want to know later.
That's fine. Sure. Just go ahead and send me a copy when you can.
Okay.
And if anybody's updated your character sheet, please let me know. And Missy is muted.
She's like, I'm gonna keep it that way.
I didn't update my character sheet, so.
Oh, you're fine.
Hi. Okay.
Alrighty. Alright, so last we left off, gigantic wreck.
Big time wreck.
Big
I
time
don't want
wreck.
to talk about
And we had some amazing rolls.
Amazing.
Amazing, yes. So I don't know, Missy, did you hear me just before the stream and I tell you got a plot point?
I didn't hear it. However, Brittany made sure to relay the message. So.
Okay, good. All right, so the both of you have plot points. Just make sure you note them down in your character sheet and use them whenever dramatically appropriate. Probably at some point soon.
At the last heartbeats.
Yeah, exactly.
Final words.
Oh no. Okay. Well, so Missy, you or I should say Cheryl, the last thing you hear, I mean, you still hear the engines overhead and you still see the spotlight shining down, penetrating the cover of trees every so often, so it's not completely dark in this area. And there is a bit of illumination from the heated engines from the aircraft above, and you heard the gunfire. And then you heard a loud crash. And then nothing from your friends. You've taken a moment at this point and packed down as much dirt and foliage and whatnot to try and mask your presence as best as possible. And you're laying kind of hunkered down up against the root of this big tree. But then you start to hear the whine of a door opening. And then some people start to rappel down.
Oh.
Shit. How cognizant and how capable am I? Because the last thing that I did besides getting ejected from the mule was throw up my back. So am I able to react at all physically, or am I more apt to just like try and just conceal myself at this point because I can't move?
It's all entirely up to you, but moving right now is very painful. It's all still very, very raw. You know, I mean, your chest hurts too because you took you took that branch to the chest in addition to throwing out your back as you hit the ground. So it's just this has not been your night.
I can hear, so since I can hear everybody rappelling down and I know they're closing in on me, I'm going to go ahead and just see if I can survey the situation and if there's any way I can tell with my combat knowledge or with my previous service if I should move or not. Is that something I can do?
That is absolutely something you can do. You haven't quite been in this type of situation before, but combat is nothing new to you. So you can. So if you're trying to keep your eyes peeled and keep an eye on what's going on, so why don't you give me a mental and survive check, and you can add veteran of the Unification War if you'd like.
That's with a plot point, right?
No.
Oh, it's not.
No,
Okay.
that's using your skill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You'll gain an additional plot point if you decide to drop it down to a 4 when you roll.
Gotcha. No, I'm going to go ahead and just roll with that extra die.
Okay.
I'm already in a sticky situation, so. All right. 15?
Okay. So you keep your head elevated up just enough to keep like one eye above the root, so your profile is still matching as closely to the ground as possible, and keeping yourself as obscured as humanly possible. And it looks like right now, the men that have rappelled down that are in all black garb are moving away from you. They're actually moving further towards the tree line where you see the wreckage of the mule.
Oh. Okay, so being that I see them moving there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and stay still. Do I perceive anything like from the back of me, or is everything in the front?
You only have a front-facing view at this point. I mean, if you tried to roll, you would be looking up at the sky at this point. So you're on kind of like your. I'm trying to think. So you're like you're rolling onto your left arm.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm just gonna stay where I'm at. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a painful view from where I'm at this point, I guess.
Okay. So you can see a few more rappel down, and then one of them. And it's hard to hear over the sound of the engines at this point, but it looks like one of them's communicating to the ship, and it's coming into land at this point as 4 men come rushing over to the wreckage with guns drawn. And you don't see any sort of reaction coming from the rest of the group outside of the flaming wreck.
Oh, it's on fire. Or was that metaphorical?
Oh no, it's quite literal.
Oh no! Oh no!
Just checking.
Am I able to hear anything specific when they communicate?
That's gonna be hard. Not quite as hard now that the ship has landed, but there's still a lot of ambient noise. So you can definitely give it a shot again. Give me mental and focus.
Nine.
Okay. You hear a little bit. You hear somebody's comment about how it sounds like they're either unconscious or stunned. And you see one guy. You see one guy going over, and you see him holding up like a very bloodied-looking Doc.
Doc? Sorry, you broke up.
Yes, Doc. Sorry.
Oh dear. Crap.
And within another minute or two, they've got They've got a full 6-man team out here at this point, and they start pulling away. Hannah, they pull away Doc, and they pull away Sitarbi. Doc looks way worse than the rest of them. It looks like Sitarbi may be up and about, but he looks loopy. Maybe his armor took some of the impact. You're not sure. Hannah has a small child growing off of her head right now.
Oh no. Bye, Felicia's. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go ahead and I didn't have one of the communicators on me, did I? And it's out of range at this point for home base.
That is correct, yes. There may be one with the wreckage, but right now, as they pull the other 3 on board, they send out 2 guys to survey the area, and they're looking around to see if they spot anything else. So give me a physical and sneak check. Sorry, mental and sneak check.
Oh, mental and sneak. Okay. You just had to pick the one with the lower die, huh? No, I'm kidding. Oh no, I got a 7.
Okay, and okay, so they start looking around. They've got lights attached to their guns, and they're pointing where they're looking and sweeping the area. And at one point, like they come walking up, and like one of them puts their boot right on the log that you're laying next to. And they're pausing. They're like looking around and trying to see if they see anything else. And you hear one of the guys go like, "Yeah, do you think these chumps are going to be worth anything?" And he says, "No, I think they're probably just scavengers or something. They don't look like brown coats." He's like, "Oh man, I was hoping they were going to be worth something. Maybe we can do some digging. Maybe they got like false IDs or something." Yeah, who knows? I mean, but at that point, you hear him make a comment. You're talking about like half the population of this planet, so I don't know what good that's going to do. And he's like, "Yeah, whatever. When can we get off this mud ball?" And they start like walking back to the craft.
I've been holding my breath the whole time, so I'm going to go ahead and as they're walking away, I'm going to go.
Okay.
And then I'm going to wait for them to go ahead and depart and ensure that there's no one else like lingering in the perimeter.
Okay. Well, the ship takes off, and at this point, it's probably been quiet for maybe about 5 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to make I'm going to like force myself to get up and like clean myself off just a little bit, trying to make as least noise as possible. And then I'm going to go ahead and crisscross through the foliage and see if I can find anything at the wreckage site.
Okay. So it hurts to move. You are moving at half your normal speed at this point, just because, if you lean too far forward, your back hurts. Lean too far back, your chest hurts. You are a bundle of pain. But as you are poking around and trying to, find, like, this mule took a tree like head on, like it was driven straight into a tree, unfortunately. So who knows what exactly happened, but it looks like everybody probably got ejected. You can see that there was quite a bit of blood on the inside. Hard to say who that was from, but since you got a decent shot at Doc, it was probably him bleeding. Why don't you go ahead and give me a mental and notice check.
Oh, 6.
Okay. So you rummage around trying to find anything at all that's useful. And you do manage to find the communicator that Satarbi had.
Okay.
It looks like it probably got thrown completely clean. Like, you don't even find it near the wreckage. You end up finding, you caught it purely by chance because it had like a blinking light on it.
Okay. I'm within range to be able to communicate with why do I want to call him Kenny?
I don't know. Why do you want to call him Kenny? What do your notes say?
My other notes.
Are you referring to Chang?
Chang. Why do I want to call him Kenny?
Chang.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Chang.
Good question.
Maybe it's with the new body. I'm like, oh, hey, Kenny. No, yeah. Am I within range to contact Chang?
You can certainly try.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to do so.
Okay. At this point, give me a mental and operations check.
That's a 2.
Okay, so you play with the frequency and the channels,
Those dice are going away.
and you're getting a lot of static right now. You're probably just too far out, or it could be the proximity to the the proximity to this cliff face that you had just been. If perhaps you scaled the or walked up the other side and got to a higher position, maybe you'd have a better chance.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and grab, make sure I have the device and anything else from the mule that might be helpful.
Outside of that, it was picked clean.
Picked clean. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go ahead and climb up the cliff and try again.
Okay. So ow. Go ahead and give a physical and labor check. Nine. Okay, so you take your time, mostly out of pain, and because you don't want to fall and do something worse, because there's nobody out here to help you at this point. But you maneuver your way around, walk up a little, part of the way, and climb the rest of it, and get up to the top of this cliff. Kind of overlooking the fields that you guys had crossed over to get over here initially, and the hills. So if you want to try it again, go ahead.
And that was mental and operate.
Mental and operate.
I'm going to need everybody to cross their fingers for me, please.
Bam.
I'm going to take a photo of this because this is some BS.
Oh shit.
I got snake eyes again. I'm sorry.
Maybe you should switch to an app.
I'm going to switch to an app permanently. I'm going to post this in the chat because this is some bullshit. I used different dice.
Wow. That is impressive. Well, go ahead and give yourself another plot point.
I'm so aggravated.
Actually, I wouldn't even call it a plot point. I'll call it a pity point.
Yeah, I mean, basically, this
Yeah, I mean,
is
that's
like
pretty much what it is at this point. So as you are trying to tune it in, you feel a shock against your ear, and the smell of burnt wiring.
okay. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the device to see if there's anything that I would be able to do to make sure it's not actually broken.
You could definitely you can inspect it. I mean,
While
you don't have the tools to really fix it, but you could definitely inspect it to make sure it wasn't like, bad battery or something.
I'll go ahead and inspect it.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a mental and fix check.
I'm bringing up my app. I'll be just 1 second.
The app gives you snake eyes. I'm gonna laugh so hard.
I'm gonna I'm legitimately just gonna quit. I'm done. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. You said mental and fix?
And
Mental
then
and
Cheryl
fix, yes.
throws herself off the cliff.
I'm literally gonna cry and probably just I don't know. Okay, much better. So that was mental and fix. Did that give me the right dice? It did. Okay, so 7.
Okay. So there is it looks like something did get blown on it. But if you can find a replacement part, maybe you could jury rig it. But it may be just easier to find somebody else who has some sort of communications device.
Okay. So the location we were at, we were in pursuit away from the
Cash.
yeah, that it
Mhm.
was like a place inside of a mountain, right?
Yeah.
A cave,
Well,
yeah.
a cave on a cliffside.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So easiest way to go to civilization where someone would potentially have one, is that going to be in front of me or behind me, or how far am I away?
Well, the only one
Or
that you're
do I know how far I'm away?
well, the only way, or the only at this point, you would want to go west, because you traveled out east to
Okay.
get here. Now, where exactly it's at specifically, you don't know, because you took that quick jaunt through the woods and whatnot, trying to get away from the pursuers. But it's still in relative to where you're at. Should probably be somewhere to the west.
Oakley doke. I'm gonna go ahead and start to hoof it.
All right. Why don't you give me physical and labor at this point?
I have 13.
Okay. So your body is on fire at this point. But the sheer fact that you are literally out in the middle of nowhere, your friends are gone, and you have no way to signal for help is like the only sole focus that you've got in your mind, and you're just pushing yourself forward. And it's to the point now, as you keep kind of to trudge, as they would say in
Trudge.
yeah, as they would say in A Knight's Tale, to soldier on. You're not even able to do it quietly at this point. Every movement makes you wince or makes you kind of groan in pain. It to the point that as you're walking and going forward, it's almost more of a controlled fall forward as opposed to an actual walk. You have picked up a stick and are trying to, well, not stick, but like a decent sized branch, and you're trying to use it as a makeshift crutch to kind of pull yourself, along even further. By the time you get to a road, you can actually start to see daylight springing up from behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And the morning air or the morning chill starting to warm up just a touch. And as ambient light is raising up just a little bit, you can see that you guys probably, the direction you were going, you probably overshot the going towards town a bit. So you're actually, now that you see where there's a road, you're gonna have to turn and start going. You have to start going south. But thankfully you can see it because lights are starting to come on, and you can see that kind of ambient light from the town as people are starting to turn off some of their lights as morning's rolling around, and you can start to hear the sound of farm life and the smell of manure. That fresh ranch scent.
Yummy.
Yeah. As you are kind of limping your way down the road, you end up seeing some lights coming up from behind you. As you hear a wheeled vehicle coming down the road, like the popping of gravel and whatnot, as it starts to come to a stop, and you hear some guy, hey miss, you okay?
I'm just gonna look around. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, and it's some guy in a beat up wheeled vehicle, 4x4 sort of looking thing, and he says, well, yeah, I don't see no other woman walking alongside the road out here.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I'm okay. I hurt my back. Are you heading into where are you headed? Do you mind if I catch a ride with you?
No, it's Unification Day, so I was heading into town to get some fireworks.
Okay, that would suit me right good if you have some room.
Yeah, if you don't mind sitting in the back.
Sure. What's your name?
Oh, sorry, my name's Jebediah.
Jebediah. I'm Cheryl. Good to meet you.
Oh, well, hey, Cheryl. I reckon we don't meet no guys in alongside the road, but me being a good Samaritan and all, and you looking like you got shot at and missed and shit at and hit, look like you could probably use a good Samaritan right about now. And his vehicle looks kind of like a Camaro, or not a Camaro, sorry, but like a oh shoot, the The car that you want.
The El Camino?
They're El Camino. There we go.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a Firefly equivalent of an El Camino. Looks like it probably should have been like a car, but it for some reason has the back of a pickup truck, flatbed sort of thing.
Gotcha. Appreciated. I'd be happy to go ahead and just tag along if you don't mind.
No, not at all. So he runs out real quick and throws down the back so you can climb in.
Okay,
And he offers to help you in because it's clear you're hurt and you're hobbling with a stick.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and keep as much of my pride that I can and just like crawl inside of the bed and just I'm okay. I'm okay. And
Okay.
but if you could get the gate, that'd be great. And then just go ahead and take my spot.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course. So he throws the gate up. Give me another strength and labor check. Yay! Thank you, Brittany! We are now up to 150.
Yay.
And I got to see
Strength
that nifty image. Oh, physical, sorry. We
yeah,
played too
no,
much
I
White
know.
Wolf.
That's what I figured it was. So I have a 9.
9, okay. So as you finally lay down, and it's not comfortable, but you're not actually having to physically move around a lot. Your back all but locks up.
Oh, no.
Like your body has just had enough of this punishment, and you just and it seizes enough that you have to cling to the side of the bed at this point to brace yourself as it spasms. But the good news is your feet are starting to not hurt anymore.
Well, that's good.
From having to walk so far. So he brings you back into town, which is a very similar area where you guys have been before on the north side, which is you've got a couple of small stands which are just now starting to open, and then of course it leads right into Main Street there on the map, where you've got like a lot of your pubs and your watering holes and a couple restaurants and whatnot. You can see, although you can barely lift your head up out of the bed of this vehicle, you can see the banners draped up over the top over Main Street, celebrating Unification Day. And so he comes to a stop nearby a stand that's actually selling the fireworks right now. And he says, "So, is this going to be good right about here, ma'am?"
Can I tell like where I'm at in the town?
Oh yeah. You can definitely tell where you're at. You're still
Okay.
about 2.5, 3 miles away from base, though.
Okay. How close am I to the governor's location?
It's the other side of town from here,
Okay.
or his office, anyways.
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask him like, are you happening to go anywhere else? Maybe a couple miles more in, or is this your final stop today? I don't want to.
Well,
wear out
this
my welcome.
this was my final stop for the day. But well, where are you fixing to go, ma'am?
Maybe 2 miles or so further.
Why don't you go ahead and roll your social and influence? See if you can get to Governor Chakwa's office.
I think you should go see Dr. Kenichi instead. Get a stim so you can keep on walking.
I have a 7.
You have a 7. Okay. So he's all, well, whereabouts are you going?
Just heading out to a location just outside of town. I have some friends that are staying there, and I think they can give me some medical treatment. I'm just gonna
Well,
try and
which
be as
way
vague
is
as
it?
possible.
Which way is it?
I'm gonna go ahead and like kind of give them the general direction of where home base is, but I'm not gonna give them the actual location.
Okay.
I'm still fine with having to walk a short distance without having to draw more attention.
Okay. He says, well, seeing as you need to get fixed up or something, I don't seem to mind. I'm kind of charitable today. So you just lay back and give me a few. We'll be there in lickety split.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, no problem. That's a good bit of armor you got on there. You one of them mercenary types? 'Cause you don't look like one of them unificators.
No, not a unificator, but yeah, kind of a gun for hire. Unfortunately, a last job didn't turn out so well, and I ended up with this here bum back.
Oh, that don't sound good. I bet this is one of those cases where you probably say we should see the other guy, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You should see the rest of the crew.
Woo-wee, you must be
Absolutely.
some gun hand if if they do anything like that to you. I can't imagine what you did to them. Damn.
Yeah, they're in pieces now.
So he takes you rough direction of the channels where you're at. You get to about the lake of the lake sharks.
I don't want to go. I don't want to stop fishing.
Yeah. But he takes you to about there, and he says, "You sure you're gonna be all right from here, ma'am?"
Yeah, I appreciate it. If you, I'm gonna, I guess, provide him the PO box for the dock. If you happen to need anything, and I'm able to move after the next couple of days, just go ahead and contact us this way. And I owe you one.
Oh, well, all right. I don't think I'll be calling that in, but well, you enjoy your day, ma'am. I hope you get to feeling better.
Thank you, sir.
And so he, flips around, spitting some dust and rocks up as he does, and then pulls out pulls down the dirt road the other way.
I'm gonna go ahead and wait till he's kind of like mostly out of focus, and I'm gonna go ahead and start walking into the house.
Okay, go ahead and give me another physical and labor check.
Eight.
8. Okay. So you are making your way back down the road back to what the locals affectionately call the channels, and you see the base in sight. You can see there's a little plume of smoke coming up out of the top. Looks like somebody's probably cooking. And as you literally limp your way, at this point, you've got kind of a sore rash under the one arm as you've been trying to lean on this branch, to get you the rest of the way. Your knees are hurting for having to overcompensate. Your back is spasming so much at this point you've forgotten about the pain in your chest, and you just kind of fall through the front door. Just And first thing you hear is, oh, sorry, I keep wanting to call her Nina. I think that's what her name is now. Or at least it may have had been. Hold on a second. Where do we go? There we go. No, her name is Nina now. Okay, I had it right. First thing you hear is Nina call from the other side of the house. Damn it, Hickok, will you fall and making a mess again? And she comes walking out of the kitchen area with a towel, and she sees you just kind of laying there like twitching, sort of thing. And she comes running over real quick to pick you up, and she's like, Cheryl, what the hell? What happened?
We went after a load for the governor, and things went sideways. I the only one that made it out. Everybody else was captured by unificators, and it's bad. The load is gone. Everyone else is gone. We have to get them back somehow.
And she says, okay, well, hold on. So she's like, and then Doc's gone. Shit. Okay, well, she kind of sets you up, to a chair to try and, get you up, obviously, off the floor. And, Brady comes walking out, from the corner. And he's like, well, damn it, woman, I haven't had enough to drink today. That wasn't me. And he looks, he's like, well, Miss Cheryl, it ain't that cold outside. What is wrong with you?
I'm hurting real bad is what's wrong with me, and everyone else is gone right now. So I've got a lot on my mind. I'm sorry to be short with you.
So he goes over and gets one of his clay pots, or not clay pots, but the clay jugs. And he says, all right, well, you look like you need this a little bit more than I do, Miss Cheryl, so you drink up.
Am I able to tell exactly what it is, or is it like a homebrew something that might kill me?
It's some sort of homebrew, but he's clearly been able to stomach it at this point.
Okay. How much do I drink?
How much do you? Well,
I'm just gonna ask him. I'm like,
oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were asking me as a storyteller. He says, no, take a deep swig.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just try and I'm gonna ask him to help me hold the piece up since my back is spasming, and I'm gonna.
Okay, so
I
mean, of course,
a very large drink.
He has the shakes, so it's both the things are kind of shaking as she's bringing it up, and so Nina just like help steady everything as you take a big swig. Go ahead and give me a physical and we'll say survival.
Oh no. 11.
11. Okay. So you take a drink, and at this point, you know the reason why, and you're trying to numb the pain. So you probably take a little bit more than you need to. And when that stuff hits your stomach, it burns, and you start to feel like that warm, tingly feeling all over. And even though you're still in pain, it's numb enough that you're able to finally relax a little and not shake quite as much. Now, you're nowhere near sober, but this is the least amount of pain you felt in several hours, and it's a hell of a lot better than where you were before.
I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of try to relax a little bit, and just kind of like breathe deeply and recount to Nina what had happened in more detail.
So she nods and she's like, okay, so it sounds like it was the unificators then, right? That took everybody else?
Yeah, yeah. The only reason I didn't get taken with them is just because I got thrown out of the mule. They missed me when they were doing recon after, or excuse me, when they were doing searches after. I don't know where they went. I can only imagine that maybe we should contact the governor to let him know about his shipment and see if we can possibly do something to retrieve the rest of the crew before anything else happens, if that's
But
possible.
but was this in relation to the governor? I thought we were going to do a rum run for him.
Out of character, I thought that was the rum run.
Mm-mm.
No,
No.
that wasn't. That was.
This was you guys trying to get some extra money so you could get that set up.
This was for Jeremiah Hong. No.
No, Jeremiah Hong can sell you something. You guys were trying to get something to get you to get some extra money because you found you had that clue that there was that stash out there.
Who gave
Yeah,
us the clue about the stash? Because I don't have that in my notes.
Hold on a second.
So
Sorry, I'm running my mission.
it was that kid, wasn't it?
It was Hank?
Yes, it was Hank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he gave you
Okay.
he gave you the tip off.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we gave him. I didn't write down that he gave us something, but I did write down that we gave him 100 credits, a pistol, and an eighth of a load. So I'm assuming that's what it was supposed to be for. So, we need to get a hold of Hank, Nina.
Hank, the kid. What is he going to do to help?
Maybe he knows where. I don't know. This was his tip off. Do you have any better ideas? I mean, I can contact the governor, but I don't know if that's too much heat for him.
Yeah, we don't want to get him involved, especially not
And
right now.
if we're still supposed to complete a job for him, especially just, I mean.
Well, that last job we were supposed to do for him didn't go over because the unificators took him in. So if the unificators take us out in this and capture those folks, we've got other problems. I don't think we should tip off the governor at this point to what's going on. Didn't he give us some time, like a couple days or something?
Yeah, there was 2 opportunities to get his load from the location that it was being housed at.
Okay. Well, let's worry about the rest of the gang, because if they identify them, that means we're identified and we're all screwed.
Yeah, and without them, there's no opportunity to get the load at the second point.
So Chang went into town. I don't know when he's going to be back. And I don't know if we want to be open, if we don't want to talk about this on an open frequency, especially with him being an AI.
It's probably not the greatest idea.
So I mean, I guess maybe we need to track down the browncoats.
Are any of them still here? The ones that are still healing?
They're. I don't think they're far. They should be coming back later on.
Okay.
But they're not here right now. They had something they were going to look into. But maybe we approach it with them.
That's probably our best plan of action. Do you happen to know if Doc left any supplies around where
Yeah.
I might be able to?
Yeah. No, we got some. I'm no good at treating, so if it's something you can do, I mean,
I mean, I don't have much choice, so I guess I'm gonna have to try my best.
okay. So yeah, Doc has a little has a supply cache. He has basically like a first aid kit plus a couple of other things like black market medicine that he pulls off, but it's nothing like you would set up for prescription. It's strictly for the house use. It's like a couple pills of like Advil sort of thing, and or some stuff to wash peroxide out, wash stuff to wash wounds out, whatnot. So it's nothing serious or major, but you may be able to help yourself with it. So
Okay. I'm gonna
if
make
you
do with what I have.
go ahead and give me a mental and treat check.
Seven.
Okay. And you are starting to treat yourself at this point as best as possible. So, Satarbi, you're the first to start waking up. And you know immediately where you're at. You know you're in a cell, and the type of cell that they've got you in. Whoop.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. I don't know what I did.
Like all of a sudden he's like blank.
He blacked
Yeah,
out.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. He's all deuces. So you are in a cell. Your hands are tied down to the ground, like manacled down and bound down, and then you're kind of kept in this uncomfortable crouching position where your feet are beneath you and also manacled to the floor as well. So you're kind of like bundled up in a ball, manacled down to the floor.
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna.
And you don't have any of your gear on. You've got your clothing on, obviously, but none of your like weapons or anything of that nature.
Yeah, I would assume so. I'm gonna try and take into account of who's around me or what's going on here.
No one's around you. You're in a cell by yourself. The door has a couple bars in front of it, so it looks like your typical cell. You've actually seen the inside of these cells before when you've ordered other people to be thrown in here. So you're on an older Alliance craft of some kind.
Shoot.
You're essentially in the brig.
Oh man. Oh man.
And then the door comes open. And standing there is obviously one of the unificators. Look, you just typical black armor with a trench coat, got a weapon at his side, and then walking in is the Asian gentleman that you know as Boss Mossbacher.
Wow.
And so he looks at you for a moment, and a kind of a Billy Idol sneer kind of forms across his lips for a moment, and he says, "Satarbi Shapiv. Interesting. I would ask why exactly you were raiding one of our caches, but I don't think I need to, given the fact that this," and he's holding your ident chip, "is fixed anyways."
Well, it looks like you have all the answers.
I will, in due time. I will. You could save us that time and yourself a great deal of trouble.
And how's that?
By being conversive. I'm not
Depends on what we're
interested.
talking about.
I'm not interested in why you were there. It's rather obvious you were attempting to pilfer our items. Though I am unclear why exactly an individual of your caliber is on this planet with a fake ident chip.
It's a series of unfortunate events. That's the too long didn't read version there for you.
Oh, we have time.
Well, that's pretty much exactly what it is. I've I found myself in this place against my will, and I've been trying to make the best of it.
So then what exactly is your real name, Mr. Shapiv?
You know, I hit my head back there pretty hard, man. It's kind of hazy. Thought it was Satarbi.
Hmm. That is a pity. We could escalate this and I could require a reader to come in, but the readers the Alliance use now, they're not as effective or as painless as they could be.
Well, I don't know. You can give me some time. I can think about it really hard, but it's not coming to me.
Very well. I will give you 5 minutes of your lifespan. Do
This is
think
crazy.
about this.
Oh, I'm thinking mighty hard.
So he steps back out and shuts the door. And he walks over to the walks over to the other door, and it opens. And Hannah, as the door is opening, the sound of the metal on metal of a door opening is like nails on a chalkboard right now, because you have this splitting headache. The last thing you remember is flying at a tree. And then it all gets real hazy from there on out. You were also bound in a very similar fashion as Satarbi is.
Is it lit or is it dark?
It's lit. And the lighting doesn't come from inside the cell itself, but there is light emanating from the outside the door, and it's got a couple bars, like your typical prison window in the door. The door comes open, and light kind of shines in it as it does. And a familiar face that you saw at the party a while ago, not too long ago, steps in, and there's another guy standing out in the front, and he says, he turns to the individual and he says, "I don't believe we are going to need the shackles for this young lady. Do release her." And he steps in and undoes the shackles, and he whips out a cloth from one of his pockets, And he hands it to you.
I'm just gonna let out kind of a whimper.
It,
And
it looks like you might need this. The wound on your head is festering.
I'm gonna hold the cloth to my head where it hurts,
Okay.
very gingerly.
Okay, yeah, this is the first time you've engaged the wound on your head, and it's one of those things like, when you put it up there, you expect you to go like this and press against your head, and so you misgauge it because it's like sticking. It's actually sticking like this far off the knot on your head. I mean, it looks like a nasty hematoma. And so when you put the cloth up there, you immediately get that zing of like, oh, I pressed too hard, and that's when you realize it's a lot worse than you thought.
I'm gonna like sit down, carry gingerly, and just kind of like lean my head back and not say anything.
Okay. All right, there we go. Hold on a second. I'm going to throw a picture in the chat here for you. One more moment.
Oh, yikes. That's something.
That's brutal.
Yep. That is a pretty big hematoma.
That's what my face looks like?
Yes.
Ouch.
Exactly. Owie. and
Nobody's
so
gonna
then
ask you to the dance now.
That's for sure.
and he says, I'm aware that we did not get to formally be introduced at the party, but my name is Boss Mossbacher. Your friend, Mr. Shapiv, has been a little less than forthcoming with me in regards to your real identity. But you, of course, I'm at odds with. I don't understand why exactly, Miss Townsend, you are utilizing a fake identification chip. Or why you find yourself in the company of such individuals.
I guess you could say it was a wrong place, wrong time kind of thing.
Your friend had something similar to say.
Well, I'm not here on vacation.
So perhaps you could explain something for me. We have you on a flight with the Will-O-Wisp, and the Will-O-Wisp disappeared. Yet, here you are.
It had an accident. But
Did it now?
we managed to come here, and now we're trying to get off.
Missy's over there snickering.
Dirty bird.
I know. That is surprisingly vague.
I don't really know what went wrong.
Should I inquire with your father as to why you are here? Would he be more forthcoming with these details?
I don't think he would have any idea.
There isn't anything else you wish to volunteer to help your case, is there?
Sorry, it's been a long time since that stuff all happened.
Mm-hmm. Didn't think I forgot. It was still out there. He says, while you think that over, perhaps I should spell this out a little bit differently for you so you understand the terms. See, I could possibly overlook your attempts at pilfering our supplies. Theft is what it is. But you showed up here on a ship that was later sold for scrap that had once been tied to the Will-O-Wisp. And the Will-O-Wisp has gone down in an area the Alliance has indicated as, shall we say, sensitive. I would hate to think what might happen to your father after that last scandal. What would happen if he was associated with something of this nature?
So what are you asking me, sir?
Transparency. And the more is withheld, the closer my finger goes to the button that releases this detail to the Alliance authorities. And you do wish to be cooperative, do you not, Miss Townsend?
Look, we would have died on that planet if we didn't take that ship. We almost died several times just trying to get to a ship.
And how so?
Not very good at ice, I'll tell you that. Froze to death?
And what planet?
I don't know. I didn't know anything about it. Never heard of it. Still don't know what it was.
So he looks you over very sternly. Do you understand that for the Alliance to take such a particular interest in someone such as common as yourself denotes something very serious? I'm
sorry.
certain I could just alert them and take this off of my hands, but I'm quite curious as to why exactly this bounty was thrown up on you and your compatriots.
I guess they didn't like us taking their ship.
It was not an Alliance ship. Very well. I will take that as your answer then. You may wish to pray that the good doctor or your other friend, Shapiv, are more forthcoming. If you are the praying sort. And he steps and shuts the door.
I'm gonna lie back on the ground.
Okay.
And put the cloth over my face.
It's actually cool to the touch. So nothing superficial, or nothing about it other than a superficial comfort, but it's better than nothing. Okay. So, Satarbi, the door opens up again. And it's two guards this time. It's Mossbacher hasn't stepped forward, but one of them has a hypodermic needle with him.
Oh man! What's that for?
And the guy kind of looks at it and he taps it and lets it shoot out just a touch.
I hate that.
And the guy's like, "So, Shapiv, have you ever heard of TTTTT?"
Nah, that's a new one to me.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a mental and knowledge check.
Nine altogether.
Okay, you've actually heard of it.
Uh-oh.
In your line of work. The reason why they call it the 5 T's like that is it's till they tell the truth.
Oh shit.
It's one of those truth serums, basically, that you get injected with that makes you very compliant.
Gotcha. Oh, that triple T. Yeah, I think I have heard of that one.
And he says, "Well, we'll be back in about 15-20 minutes." He sticks you like right in the butt and injects.
Oh my god. I guess I don't get a choice about this, man. Can Poppy hear any of this from next door?
You can hear some faint conversations, yeah.
Like somebody's ass getting stuck?
I mean, if you yelped, yeah.
I don't know if I did or not. Sucks. All right, boys. I'll see you in a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Out of context, I'm not sure what our position officially would be about that ice planet. Like, I know the Alliance was there to pretty much erase us from being there. I'm guessing that's why they want to find us now. I guess
Well, yeah, you guys didn't really look into it. You guys pretty much kept your heads down and like, okay, we're going to pretend that's not there because of everything that happened. But you as what you were would probably understand this better than anybody else. And what you guys uncovered was essentially a super soldier program.
Gotcha.
Ish. That went horribly awry from the Independents. And then the Alliance got wind of it and tried to restart it. And so now they're trying to cover those tracks.
Now we're loose ends.
I was going to say, I thought I remembered it being a brown coat facility, but I couldn't remember what the Alliance had. But I knew the Alliance wanted to destroy it.
Well,
they
want to cover up all trace of it. at this point.
Right. I remember they were going to blow up the facility with us in it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we jetted.
And if you remember, it involved Reapers.
Well,
Yep.
yes. I remember that.
Yeah. I would hope so. Your body remembers it.
It sounds familiar.
All right. I was just wanting a little refresher, man.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's fine.
It was only like 8 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So it's been about an hour or two. Well, it's been about 2 hours since you've got back. It's early morning still. I keep wanting to call her Meredith, Cheryl. And you've kind of, because you've been so fatigued, you've dazed in and out every so often, in and out of a painful, fitful sleep. When the door comes crashing open, and Hickok comes barging in, and he's got this big 3-barreled shotgun-looking monstrosity. And he's like, "All right, no way, nobody, the frickin' fucker's gonna keep them and razzle them."
I'm gonna go ahead.
He's like so lit, he's just not even making sense now.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to calm him down and just let's go get them, but they're not here. So let's put down the gun for right now.
No, you don't understand, Miss Cheryl. I found them.
Hold on.
Yeah,
strategize first.
You hold on. Let me get you a cup, because you're gonna need another dose.
I don't think I need any other doses. I'm gonna try and get up. And how capable am I guess at this point?
Give me a physical and labor check. Eight, okay. You can slowly rise to your feet.
Okay.
But it's painful to even do that.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to appeal to his want to help me, and help me up there, bud, and we can figure out how we're gonna get these guys.
Okay, so he offers his shoulder so you can kind of lean on it, sort of thing.
With that, I'm gonna say, hey, can I inspect that fine firearm that you got there?
Oh, sure. Just be careful. It's fully loaded.
I wouldn't expect anything else. So I'm gonna go ahead and as best I can, as best as I physically can, seeing as I'm still kind of hobbling, try and inspect it. And let's go over to the seat over here, and let's sit down at this fancy table and see how we're gonna take care of things.
The new table. Oh, sure. Slowly hobbles over to the table with you. You know, Nina comes walking up and she's like, "Oh my God, what is that?"
This is I'm just gonna look at her with very wide eyes, and this is a very fine firearm. I would like you to inspect it. Kind of wink, and be obvious. Try to be obvious to her, but obviously not to Hickok there, and hey, you should take a look at this.
Okay,
and hopefully she understands to unload it.
Okay, go ahead and roll your social and influence.
Eight.
8. Okay. So she's kind of like looking at you like odd, and she takes it, but she's like, oh, okay, and starts like looking it over, and she says, "Yeah, it looks like it would do a whole lot of damage," and sets it down on the table. And you have to remember, you're still buzzing a little bit, and you're on the med still, so she probably didn't pick up all your hints.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna take I'm gonna take it. I'm just gonna try and put my hand on it and hang on to it, like physically own the item so that he's not trying to grab at it. And so have those brown coats came back yet?
And she says no. I think they're staying out of town or anywhere near it while it's Unification Day.
I mean, I don't know what else to do at this point. I mean, I guess has Chang came back?
I heard from Chang, but I didn't get a message back out to him. He's actually looking over the details of trying to get the other job going, and he's inspecting ships to get us up there.
Fantastic. But if you talk to him again, if you can just remind him that we won't have another job until we finish this one, that might be a priority. And
yeah, no. I'm believe me, I'm trying. I couldn't get through to him. There was something going on, and I was only able to get his message. He wasn't able to hear me.
Oh, understood. Okay, I apologize. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna look across the table. And so you said you found these guys?
Oh, yeah. It's what would you call it? They got a hive. No. Fort. Home. A locale. Yeah. It's their location.
Oh, okay. So they're staying somewhere. Did you find out where that was?
Oh, well yeah. That's what I done said.
Nope. No.
You sure you don't need another drink?
No. Do you have some coordinates? Do you have some cross streets? Do you have some logistical information? Something more specific.
The physicality of the entendre thing. Yeah. So he pulls out a paper, and it's like this total crude sketch of like what he found out. Nina has about the same look. She's just like, the hell is this?
Can you walk me through this diagram? I mean, this is some fantastic artwork, and this is very detailed, and this is really great from a tactical standpoint. But I'm not feeling great. Can you just run me through this?
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Ma'am. Well, yeah. Y'all got a map.
Okay.
And Nina goes and like pulls one up that you guys had kind of pieced together yourselves, but were also like, it's part touristy, part like you guys have filled in your own details on, so like what's important to you guys, what's where and whatnot. Like obviously the governor's office is not marked on a map, but you guys have marked it, sort of thing. And he says, "Oh, okay, yeah. So, you see this river over here, outside of town, like past them gravel rail tracks?
Okay.
It's over yonder. They got themselves one of them old bunkers that they commandeered and what's that word? Retrofitted.
This is great information, man. Were you able to see how many strong they had at that particular bunker?
Oh, I didn't particularly ask him how strong they were.
Touche.
Nina's like, no. How many people? How many people? And he's like, and he starts like, doing some, weird math and tapping his fingers like he's trying to, figure it out. And he says, I think they got like 10.
So we got 10 of them, plus you, me, Nina, your 3 barrels.
Right.
I don't know that that's so much of an even fight, but I guess we could go take a look. Maybe let's start out quiet.
I know how to get in, but does that help? I talked to a lady folk who kind of gave me some information and told me where a service entrance is.
Wait, did you go in this service entrance yet?
No. Heavens, no.
All right. Well, I guess it's worth a shot. I mean, I'm just kind of a sitting duck right here until we get the rest of these guys back. So, you want to follow me, or should I follow you?
I would be rightly obliged if you followed me. You ain't exactly in the best shape, Miss Ma'am.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, so then he looks around. He's like, "Where's the mule?"
About that. There's not a mule anymore.
Oh. So, we going to ride the tractor into town?
We still have the tractor, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. Looks
dear.
like it.
Okay. All right. No, I'll be right back. So he goes wandering outside with his rifle. And Nina's like, "Are you going to be up to this?"
I'm not really up to anything right now, but I don't think we have too much of a choice.
No, we don't. The good news is, loud noises may be misconstrued for fireworks.
That's a good point. There's some firework business booming in town, so hopefully it'll do something for us.
Okay, well, if you're the praying type, you might want to pray then.
Yeah.
Okay, so the door comes open again on Sitarbi. Why don't you go ahead and roll a mental and focus check?
Sorry, I was muted. I got 10.
10, okay. 1 second. Okay. So you can feel it in your system. But you're staying like focused and resolute, like repeating some things in your head to keep yourself focused on point and not trying to fight off the worst effects of the drug. And they of course test it out, and they're like, what's your name? And you're just like Sitarbi, sort of thing. It's like, oh, okay, clearly it's not working yet. So they shut the door and leave you to kind of stew as sweat is starting to bead down off your brow and whatnot as you're really trying to fight this.
Gotcha.
And the door opens up again on Hannah. And Boss Mossbacher steps in. And he says, well, Miss Townsend, we've already administered drugs to 2 of your friends.
Is the doc going to be okay?
Well, that depends upon the outcome here. I could tell you this all now rests in your hands, your family's well-being and the well-being of your compatriots. So are you certain there isn't anything you wish to give to me?
Look, I was bleeding out half the time we were there.
Yet you were there. And the Alliance clearly has you tied to something very sensitive. What did you find out, Miss Townsend?
There was a base there, and nobody had been there for a long time. It was mostly wreckage. And we found a ship and we left.
Go ahead and roll your social and influence.
Five, but one of them is a 1.
All right. And so he just leans in close and looks you right in the face, and he says, "You are an absolute terrible liar."
I ain't told you nothing that was a lie.
Anything short of the truth is a lie, including omissions. And as I've now given you a second chance and you have rebuffed my very pleasurable attempts to not escalate this matter, you have yourself to blame for what is going to happen to your parents.
They don't have anything to do with this.
The Alliance will not care. See, they're not very forgiving. They don't believe in 3 strikes. Your parents already have 1. You being their offspring is enough to send them to prison, perhaps for the rest of their lives.
Look, I don't much care about the Alliance business. I don't want anything to do with that.
Then tell me why exactly there's such an exuberant bounty on your head.
I don't know.
Of course you do.
I don't even know what it says.
You're wanted for questioning, and any time that you are wanted for quote-unquote questioning, there's a sensitive component to that they don't release to the public. And so he turns to his the officer that's next to him, and he says, make sure you hail the planet of Ariel. Let them know that they're to take in the Townsends at first opportunity. And he says, what about her? And he says, we can make it a trifecta. We'll be turning them over to the Alliance shortly. Make sure that they have a craft waiting here for these individuals. I simply wish to know more before we turn them over.
Look, there was something on that planet. Some killing thing.
I'm afraid you're going to have to be more specific than a killing thing.
If I could tell you what it was, it was terrible. Threw a stick right through me. Grabbed me out of the ceiling. Who wouldn't want to steal a ship to get away from that?
So you were harried by a madman who was strong. Is that the story you're going with?
It was no man.
Then what was it?
Something out of a lab.
So there was a lab on this planet. That is quite a bit more detail than what you were offering before. Do you wish to amend your statement?
That's all I got.
That's all you have. Very well. He just motions with his hand. And then at that point they step up and exit the room. And you start to hear some shouting now. And it doesn't sound like Satarbi.
Does it sound like Doc?
It sounds like Doc.
Oh no.
Think Han Solo on Cloud City as they lowered him onto the Sparky Boom Boom device. Which I know they faded on that scene, but the fact that they had actual sparks and that was all practical effects and whatnot coming off, that was just cringeworthy.
How many needles and sharp stuff it was all over.
I know, yeah. I mean, if you're Harrison Ford, you had to be going like, okay, this thing better not like fall, like you better not lose a grip or something, guys.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Okay, so Satarbi, why don't you go ahead and give me another mental and focus check?
Okay. Nine.
Okay. So they lean back in, they ask you your name, and at this point you start to hesitate a little bit, but you give them Satarbi again. And they're like, oh, okay, we got a live one here. Looks like we're going to have to give a little bit longer. Let them soak. So at this point, the three of you on the tractor, just kind of hovering and rolling through town. Well, actually, it's a wheeled tractor is what it was. The platform it was carrying was a hover platform. Or no, it was the other way around. Sorry, yeah. No, so it's a hover tractor. So you cross town, and it's again, it's not super fast, unfortunately. And as you guys are crossing town, you know the people they got sparklers out, and they've got a band playing, you know, downtown. Kind of a lively hootenanny going on. And as you cross over town, you get to the you get close to the location that Hickok indicated that he knew where to go, and you can see that there is an actual bunker there. There's a craft that's, or I should say, two crafts that are parked outside. And then when I say bunker, think low profile, like a World War II bunker sort of thing. Like it only comes up like so far, and has slits in it where it looks like they're probably gunner ports or something.
Gotcha.
And as he climbs down and shimmies off to a gulch nearby, which it's dry. There's nothing in it, but it actually kind of acts as a makeshift road leading up alongside this bunker, and you can see that there's the service entrance that he was referring to. So it's like a door that basically goes into the dirt.
Okay. Are we able to take the tractor like close to that? Or if it's not possible, I do want to park some ways away so that we can at least have some sort of cover.
You would have to park it a ways away. Because otherwise it's clear coming up to the bunker. Like they've taken great pains to make sure that the immediate area around that bunker is all cleared out.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and find a discreet place to park and hoof it.
Okay. All right. So everybody give me physical and sneak checks. Get Nina pulled up here real quick.
I was like, everybody. Pretty sure I'm not sneaking anywhere.
Oh.
You said physical and sneak.
Yes.
Ten.
10. Ooh. Okay. Well, your difficulty going, but you're slow by nature because of the pain that you're in. Believe it or not, Brady is quieter than everybody, which is really bizarre. He kind of got in the zone there for a second and started slinking down along the gully there, and Nina's doing all right, but everybody's quiet for the most part. When you get up close, Nina kind of focuses for a second. She's like, There's somebody on the other side of the door. I think it's probably a guard.
I mean, probably. Shoot. And I'm just gonna turn to Hickok. Like, do you have any other intel about the inside of this location? Do you know at what positions guards are, or just there's 10 people?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I don't. But he reaches into his backpack and he pulls out a box of Odie bars. It's got like the Blue Sun logo on it and whatnot. And he hands you his shotgun, and then like takes his hands and starts licking down his hair to try and make himself look more presentable. And he starts wandering up to the door.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead.
Nina said about the same thing. She's just like, the hell?
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at Nina and I'm gonna like cock my eyebrow and be like, what is this guy doing? And then I'm just gonna gesture for her to get on one side and I'm gonna get on the other and see if we can help contain the situation because he's probably gonna get us in trouble.
Okay. So you guys sneak over to the, because it's down from an elevated position from the bunker, so it's not like readily seen. You guys can run along the gulch and get on the other side of the door, and he comes walking up and he knocks on the door. And so you hear a latch, and it opens up, and it's one of the unificators in there, who doesn't quite see you guys just yet. And he says, I got a delivery here for some Odie bars for Mr. Moss Bacher. And the guy kind of looks at him funny. He's like, Odie bars? Who the hell knew? Okay, do you have something I need to sign for? And he's like, oh, yeah. So he like pulls out some the old school carbon copy, paper. And he like lays it down, on the box, and the guy looks at it. He's like, "Where do I sign?" He says, I'm sorry, these forms are like they're really old. I just sign right here, and right here." Like he's just pointing to spots on it at this point. It like doesn't even look like there really are lines to mark, sort of thing. The guy kind of looks at it and he's like, he signs it, and he takes. He's like, okay, thanks.
How is the guard positioned? Is he turned away from the door or towards it?
He's facing the door, and he's getting ready to pull the door closed, getting ready to close it back too. It opened outward.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna come up behind Hickok, and I'm gonna go ahead and like take my gun to his head and tell the guard if you don't let me in, I'm gonna blow this guy's brains out.
All right, good job, Jack Burton. Okay, so oops, hold on a second. All right, go ahead and give me a Trying to bluff your way at this point. Give me a social and influence check. Oh, and you can use Smooth Talker if you would like. It is one of your special or your distinctions.
I already rolled. Can I roll an 8 to include that?
Yes, you can.
Okay. 14 total.
Okay. Nice. So you do that and you pull out the gun. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. So his hand is on his pistol, but he hasn't drawn it just yet.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go from pointing my gun at Hickok, and I'm gonna point it at him. Drop your pistol, drop your weapons, and then I'm gonna get like Hickok in like a half, like almost like a half Nelson, and just like kind of like try to put on the appearance that I'm trying to hurt him.
Okay, so he lowers his weapon. At that point, he's got his other hand out, and he's like, "Okay, hold on a second. Nobody needs to get shot here. Just slow down."
And then I'm gonna go ahead and like, am I within kind of like striking distance of the guard, or I would like to close in if I'm not.
You can close in, and you could. Well, I mean, you could take like 1 or 2 steps and close in if you wanted. You're just outside of like arm's length.
Okay. I want to go ahead and try to step in and catch him off guard and try and knock him out. I don't actually want to kill him.
You're gonna buffalo him.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and roll. At this point, you want to do your physical and fight. Did you pistol whip the dude? Or try to, anyways.
$10.
Ooh, okay. What? So you managed to buffalo him, and he, because he was partly up, and as you hit him, he hits the ground hard. He's not completely out, but he's definitely dazed and stunned. And with that, we'll go ahead and stop for the evening, because it is just a little bit past 9. As the heroes manage to break back in with the help of Brady Hickok.
And some brown coats.
Wait, they didn't get the brown coats.
Yeah, we didn't get those guys yet.
Nope.
They're laying low.
Oh, okay.
No, it's fine.
You guys are doing a great job.
Pardon me while I save you.
Yeah, get in there before that truth serum kicks in, man.
Yeah. Tell him all sorts of secrets.
Well, what more could you tell him that I already did?
My name, I guess.
A lot. Alrighty, so I hope you guys had fun. I know it was a little one-sided based off of last game, given everything that happened.
Hey, you know what?
They're like that, man. It's fine.
Nobody's dead, so
this is true.
Nobody died.
Somebody did roll a snake eyes, though.
Yep. Again,
but you got a plot point.
I'm giving up on physical dice. I'm just using the app from now on.
No, you're not.
At least this game, I did a lot better.
Then the app's going to give you 2 ones. You're going to throw your phone away.
I swear that happens every last.
I'm going to buffalo you with my phone.
Alrighty, well, so the link obviously to the fundraising will still be open until the 30th of this month. which is next Wednesday. So if nothing else, if this is where we stop, we got 150 out of 200. That's really good. And that all goes directly to them. So super excited about that. We are actually off for gaming until next Friday. So Friday the 2nd of October will be our vampire game, and I still need to work on Halloween themes for all the games so I can get the layouts updated and make them look neat.
Right on.
So cool. Alrighty. Well, thank you for those of you who watch and or who end up watching the replay, like on YouTube and whatnot. And we will catch you next time. Bye.
Later, man.
There we go.